My name's Vlad. I'm doing mechanical engineering at Brunel, and I just finished first year, going into second year now.
Could you tell us your hometown?
Hometown. Well, I've lived all over Europe, so I moved to the UK in 2012, and I've lived in East London basically ever since.
Okay. Could you tell us about your podcast?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a podcast where I talk to my mates about being a student and what that's like, and all kinds of funny stories that we've had in our lives, basically.
Could you remind us of the course you're currently studying at university?
So.
Could you remind us of the course you're currently studying at university?
Yeah, I'm doing mechanical engineering.
Why did you choose your course?
I've always been interested in building and designing stuff since I was a kid. So since then, I kind of knew that I wanted to get into that sort of field, and being decently good at maths and physics, it was like a no-brainer.
And you said you just finished your first year.
Mm.
What have you thought of your course so far?
I love it. I enjoy doing it every day. I spend so much time doing extra work. Um, wouldn't choose it anything else. Like,
Hey,
it's the best.
did you come from a sixth form or college background?
I came from sixth form.
And what subjects did you take in sixth form?
I took maths, physics, and IT.
Did any of these subjects help you with your course?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. But IT mainly helps with the little things like writing reports and doing that extra work that speeds up all your other stuff. So it was by far the most practical subject I took.
What do you think the best A levels subjects are for your course?
Definitely maths. Without the maths, you're gonna struggle for sure.
Could you remind us of the university you're currently studying at?
Brunel.
What are the best and worst things about studying at Brunel University? Starting off with the worst.
The worst. Um, I guess there's not that much around it. The extras on top of university like life, I guess there isn't that much. There's only one place to go out, one of everything. So there's not that many options outside of your course.
Is there anything else bad about it, or is that pretty much it?
Um, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I don't see anything that bad about it.
And the best things?
The best thing, I'd definitely say like the whole campus. The campus is what, it's not like other unis where it's split up. It's one big campus. So everything's closed off and you feel like you're in your own little bubble, and you only see like uni students in and around your area. Um, so it feels nice to live in your own little world for pretty much the whole time.
Could you tell us where you lived in your first year of Brunel University?
Well, I did foundation year, so I lived in halls for foundation year, and then I live in a house with my mates for first year.
And where did you live in your first year? What student halls did you live in? And what did you think?
I lived in in the Bishop's like general complex, and it was Kilmorey Hall, and it was decent. I mean, I don't think it's anything special in comparison to other universities. It's pretty normal, I would say. Most rooms on a campus have their own bathroom as well, so you're not getting shared. Um, then there's like little things that always don't work, like in every halls. My radiators didn't work all of first year pretty much, so I had to sleep in the cold, but it wasn't that
And
bad.
it was just a pretty average experience when it came to living in halls?
Yeah, I don't think it was anything special. I mean, normal stuff, fire alarms at 4 a.m., um, random people leaving stuff in the kitchen, always something going on outside.
Hmm.
Not
So
normal.
what was it like going from student halls in your foundation year to living in a house in your first year?
Oh, it was so nice. You get the benefits of living that nice life, not having to use the uni's washing machines, having heating that works. double beds, small things like that make it so much better.
What were the difficulties when moving from the student halls to the housing?
Um, Difficulties. I don't think there really were any. I think it was pretty easy. I mean, all there is you have to move your stuff back home and then move it to the house later on. There's no, like, you can't just go from one to the other, but that's pretty normal, I think. Nothing.
Hey, if we go into the Brunel area, can you tell us about the
Mm.
Brunel nightlife?
Yeah, I mean, the only club that there really is all out is Attic in Uxbridge. And that's okay at best. Like, it's all right. There's events on pretty much throughout the weeks, and there's every Wednesday it's like discounted for students to go in. So
Did you
pretty.
go to that club actively or?
I went a couple times for certain events, especially during Freshers Week, and then I went for Halloween as well. But I didn't go out often. Not really my kind of thing.
Comparing to where your hometown is in East London is, what are the shops and food varieties like? Is it the same in Brunel, or have you only got your local shops, your popular shops, or a good mix?
I think it's better than my area. I mean, they have a Five Guys that you can get delivered, so that's pretty sick. You can get pretty much everything delivered on Uber Eats or Deliveroo, so it's pretty comfortable when it comes to food and stuff. You're good.
Okay. What general advice would you give to students about to start their first year?
General advice. I think it's going to be it's a big transition from being told what to learn all the time to being given freedom and you have to work out yourself. So I think planning everything is so important. Making sure you get your timelines set is by far the most important thing. Without that, you're going to struggle.
What advice would you give to students about to study at Brunel University?
Um, Use the library. It's so good. There's so much space and there's massive group rooms and stuff that you can book that is just the best thing. And especially when you're around other people that are productive, even if you're not, you're going to inherently become more productive just because that's the atmosphere. And in the library, there's different levels and floors. So you can go from the bottom floor where it's really loud, open, and then the top floor is dead silent. And then there's two more in between. So you can pick kind of how focused you want to be.
Okay. And what advice would you give to students about to study your course?
Um, Definitely day one, start revising. Revision starts day one because of just the sheer amount of work that you have. There's just so much. But if you keep on top of it, it's fine. It's just when you don't, it starts piling up really, really quick.
You chose going to university with an apprenticeship that's going right into work. What path did you make this choice?
Um, Sorry, it cut out just before you finished.
So you chose going to university over
Mhm.
doing an apprenticeship slash going
Yeah,
right into work. What path did you to make this choice?
I guess it's basically the only way. If you want to be an engineer, you have to kind of go to uni. It's like being a doctor. It's more of a requirement than an option. And the apprenticeship options are pretty limited, if there are even are any. And if there is any, they're so competitive that it's too hard to get into. So that was really my only option.
Hey, could you tell us more about your podcast, what you speak about, what it's called, and just more information on it?
Yeah, it's called the Studentcast. It's available on pretty much every platform you can think of. And I get pretty much anyone on doesn't even have to be a student, just someone who's young, and talk about all our opinions on anything that's going on today, like funny stories that someone's had, why they think a certain way, um, anything of interest really. I market myself as the young Joe Rogan, so that's the plan.
Okay. You at this point we let students have what I like to call a free for all. You can say what you like about what you want. You can give advice, you can tell a story. Literally, the floor is yours.
Mhm. I think I'm gonna leave it with a piece of advice where um, it's a little thing, but I think it goes a long way. It's basically a tip. If you're someone who goes to uni and writes a lot of handwritten notes, I think if you invest in an iPad with the Apple Pencil, it is probably the biggest lifesaver you're ever going to have, because you have all of your notes on one device and you just carry one thing instead of carrying like 15 textbooks, exercise books. So you can pull up references, or like me, sometimes you watch Netflix and lectures. It's it's probably the best investment you can get
Hmm.
if someone's looking at what to get or bring for university. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and unplug them.
Amazing. Thank you.